Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here, welcome back to another Destiny 2 video, and in today's video I am once again back with another news roundup. There have been some more interesting snippets of information that have cropped up since the last time I did one of these, and I figured instead of making videos on each individual topic, I would just group them up like this. Handy of course if you haven't been able to stay up to date on absolutely everything this past week. So with that being said, if you do enjoy this, you do find it helpful, then a like would be super appreciated, and be sure to comment down below and let me know what you guys think about all of this. Now to begin with, let's talk veteran rewards. This is an important one since it effectively bridges the gap between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. For those of you looking to bring something over to Destiny 2, a means to sort of show what you've achieved or to show where you've come from, then you're going to want to pay attention. Of course, we already know that our prized possessions, our gear, weapons, emblems, shaders, all that stuff, that is getting blown up when Ghoul decides to crash the party. However, that doesn't mean to say that there's absolutely no way to celebrate your Destiny 1 achievements come September 6th. This right here is the Destiny 2 character screen. When you press the start button or the menu button, you'll find yourself at this page. It should be pretty familiar to all of you. A place to swap your weapons, subclasses, change gear, shaders, all the usual stuff. The main mission, when compared to Destiny 1, is your player card, your emblem, and that is because it is now up here at the top. When you're in orbit, your emblem will show as normal, but when you're in this menu, it adopts a much grander position, which is actually pretty cool because it gives them scope to be a little bit more decorative. And with that in mind, these right here are your Destiny 2 memorialization emblems. Your means to say, I was there in Destiny 1, this is what I've done. But before I dive a little bit deeper into what each of these mean, let's talk about this whole veteran rewards thing. In the most recent This Week at Bungie, they spoke about how there's always this interesting discussion on how to celebrate the existing players without alienating those newcomers. I mean, they would never give us something like a special gun or a piece of armor, because that truly does draw a big dividing line between those who have been there from the start and those who are new. And while some people might not be too fussed about that, it is something Bungie are never going to do. Emblems on the other hand, now that is a lot easier to work with. Emblems for some people are super important, a collection to be proud of, meanwhile for others they're simply something you slap on your player card and you think nothing more of. But I think we can all agree that they in no way impact the overall gaming experience. You're not going to have a lesser Destiny 2 experience if you're missing an emblem, unless perhaps you're a collector, then sorry, I don't have an answer for you. Short of, you should have been there in Destiny 1. Anyway, long story short, between now and August 1st, Bungie are going to be tracking our in-game progress, and wherever you stand on August 1st will directly result in the emblems you receive from this list in Destiny 2. It's important to note that some of these, not all of these, but some are specifically designed to be available to those that were genuinely there Day 1, Year 1. So for some of you that perhaps join in the Taken King or Rise of Iron, there will be some here that you won't be able to achieve. However, others are still within grasp, so if you like them, there's still time. The first 4, these are the ones where you had to have been there to get them. Meanwhile, the latter 3 are still very much within grasp. The Laurel Triumphant requires that you have completed a Moment of Triumph during Destiny's first year. The Laurea Prima 2 requires that you completed all 10 Moments of Triumph during Destiny's first year, so that's the top 2. So again, if you weren't there, Year 1, then sorry, but these aren't available to you. Slayer of Arekkz requires that you own the Taken King and completed a Moment of Triumph during the second year. Meanwhile, Heard the Call requires that you have owned the Taken King and completed all 8 Moments of Triumph. So again, if you came in a little bit after that, Rise of Iron, then you're going to be unable to get these too. However, the final 3, these are open for everyone to get. Young Wolf requires that you have owned Rise of Iron and reached rank 2 in the Age of Triumph record book. Meanwhile, Saladin's Pride will have you reach rank 7 in the Age of Triumph record book and of course, own Rise of Iron. And this final 7th one, this one might just be the most valuable to some of you. In order to get this, you must have achieved a Grimoire score of over 5,000 in Destiny 1. So Grimoire hunters out there, especially important since we don't know exactly what form Grimoire will take in Destiny 2. In one interview they mentioned it wouldn't be returning, at least not how it does right now, so whether that means it's gone for good or it'll simply take a different form will remain to be seen. But assuming the worst, and it doesn't return, then this could well be your last link to the Grimoire. So again, as a reminder, you have until August the 1st to get this done. At that point, the stats will be frozen, and they will then begin the migration process. So that is a little over 1 month to go. So if you're looking for things to do, then this is something to start working towards. Furthermore, while we're talking dates, the Daybreak month begins on July 18th, so when that kicks off, the Daybreak modifier will be active for 4 weeks running. August 1st will mark the final Destiny 1 era of Iron Banner, and August 11th will be the final Destiny 1 era of Trials of Osiris. Once those dates have passed, you'll need to wait until Destiny 2 to take on those PvP challenges again. And finally, the console exclusives. Both weapons and armor will finally be coming to Xbox in October 2017. I appreciate by that time, most of us will be playing Destiny 2, but hey, Jade Rabbit will finally come around. Now moving on from there, a note on Destiny 2 preparation. Bungie are going to be implementing a Destiny server queue to manage the population in anticipation for Destiny 2 launch. That means, on September 6th, should the player count get a little bit too much to handle on launch day, some players may see a queue when logging in. This should ease people in gradually and hopefully stop any horrible bottlenecks or server overloads, or at least that is the plan. Only time will tell. It's worth noting that if you're in the game, you won't then see the queue if you're trying to go into an activity. This is purely for people trying to log into the game. Now, with all the dates and the technical stuff out of the way, what else do we have to talk about on the Destiny 2 sphere? Well, recently, yesterday in fact, an interview went up between Luke Smith and PlayStation Lifestyle. In that they spoke about a wide range of different things, the gameplay reveal event, general themes of the game, a lot of stuff we've already spoken about before, but there were a few interesting tidbits of information that I did want to highlight. First one stemmed from a question asking whether we'll be exploring the fates of any beloved characters, and more importantly, what happened to characters like Rahul, Amanda, Sweeperbot, etc. To which Luke Smith replied, "You're going to have more exposure to some of those folks for sure. Some will return, some will not. Some of the characters that do not return will not have an explanation. We're not going to say what happened to character X because, you know, we don't need to at this time. And because when character X returns, maybe that character will have a story that they want to tell you about where they went. Certainly some of those characters like Rahul, I mean, what's a Destiny game without a Cryptarch? I don't know." So from that, it sounds like our cheeky blue Cryptarch will still show his face again. We've seen the Cryptarch station in the new social space, the farm. We just haven't seen it up close just yet. Then in a separate interview, again with Luke Smith, he mentioned fast travel spots in passing. Given the map in game is this time considerably bigger, 2 times as big as the biggest map in Destiny 1, then you'll actually have the ability to travel between points on some planets and spaces like, say, European Dead Zone. That in itself is going to be very handy since the map is now considerably more detailed, and for things like public events we now have timers, so if you know that there's an event going off in say 1 minute near the north of the map and you are all the way down in the south, knowing you can quickly travel between that is going to be handy. And this also applies to when you land on the planet in the first place. You can then pick different landing zones based on the area you want to visit, so pretty useful if you want to try and make the most of your time, or at least be kind of efficient in where you are working. Finally, while we're on the topic of the open world, something else confirmed to be returning is the thing they often refer to as silent events. Those kind of public events where there is often conflict between 2 enemy races or factions, usually complemented by some sort of on-screen text, and when you then let them play out, it often results in a boss or an elite enemy showing up. They are also said to be making a return, so when you factor in absolutely everything going on in the world, we now have a pretty exhaustive list of things to do. Story missions, public events, patrols, adventures, lost sectors, find treasure maps, take part in flashpoints. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. But that, my friends, for the time being, is pretty much it. That is a quick roundup of a few more snippets of information from some recent interviews. We're now just a couple of weeks away from the Destiny 2 beta, so expect some more information to begin slowly trickling in, and we're now just a couple of months away from Gamescom 2, so that'll more than likely be the final time we get a big drop of information before launch. Either way, keep it locked if you want to stay up to date. Check out the last Destiny 2 video if you missed some information from E3, and thanks for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.